This is a video about the prop industry from a Wall Street veteran and what happened with MFF. So first of all, who am I and why you should listen to me? I'm the CEO of FundingTraders.com. Been on Wall Street for over 2 decades. Started on the sell side back when I was 16. Did wealth management, private equity, and then trading for prop firms, hedge funds, etc., etc. This is why I have inside knowledge as to how Wall Street operates, and I want to dispel a few myths that is happening due to the ignorance of most people who have not been part of the insider circle to understand what's going on behind the MFF situation. Biggest issue what happened with MFF, with MyForexFunds, is they fucked up. They're vertically integrated and they started executing trades without having a broker-dealer license. All right, so in the United States, in North America, you're not allowed to execute trades if you don't have the broker-dealer's license, and that's the actual law that they broke. Now, they have done a lot of morally reprehensible things as well, but they weren't illegal. And let me explain as to what's happening with this industry and dispel a few myths. All right, so number one, A book and B book. A book and B booking has existed for a long time in forex industry and every other industry, and let me explain what it is briefly. So if A book is when you pass the order through from the trader onto the actual exchange. Since most traders don't know how to trade, most of these people are gamblers, exchange doesn't have to pass on your order onto somebody else to take the other side of the play, right? So if you're buying something, somebody needs to sell something in an equal amount. If you're buying one share of X, somebody's selling one share of X, and it's a zero-sum game, meaning both parties think that they're doing the right thing, but one of the parties is going to soon find out when the price moves that they fucked up, and the other one, they've been right. Now, with brokerages, they figured out, since a lot of people who join these things are novice traders, they don't need to pass on your order to somebody else to make money. They simply can take absorb the risk, and take on the order and provide you the liquidity, meaning they take the other side of the order. And that's called B-book. They basically say, you know what, most people are not good traders, and we're just gonna take the other side of the order without passing it on to the open market. We'll just do the inside deal within our environment, so to speak. Now, that's B-book, and there's nothing illegal about that. Simply because why make somebody else rich when you can make yourself rich? Why are you gonna pass on the order onto an open pool of sharks when you can eat it yourself, right? So a few people who actually dedicate themselves, spend years, not months, years, to learn how to trade. They have a chance of becoming successful, and those people get A-booked. A-booked means that these people are good, nobody wants to trade against them, and the order gets sent into the open market where they trade against other traders, other exchanges, other big players, etc., etc., etc. Right? So this has been going on since Kingdom Come. You can read an excellent book called Reminiscence of the Stock Operator, and about bucket shops and all that back in the 1920s and 1930s, etc., etc., etc. So what's going on with MFF? They were doing that, but they were also, what the illegality of what they were doing wasn't them taking the other side of their traders' trades. The illegality was where they took North American traders and they were basically executing their trades when they didn't have the license to execute their trades. And that's what brought them down. All right, so that's why the CFTC got involved, and now they're fucked. Now, what's going on with the prop firm industry? The honest take. The honest take is very simple. Most Wall Street old school prop firms would require you to present a track record in order for you to be even considered for the job. All right, the track record means you would have to show them at least 6 to 12 months of profitable trading for them to consider you to come on board and become part of the trading team. Now, FTMO and other companies, they made it simpler for a retail trader to get accepted into the Wall Street world. What do I mean? Well, since you're coming from the internet with a zero track record and you're pretty much nobody, right? And you want somebody to give you $100,000 to trade. Well, why would somebody do that? You show no track record, you pass no interviews, you do nothing pretty much but pass a week, 1 week or 2 weeks worth of trading. You took 5 trades, 10 trades, 20 trades, and all of a sudden you think you're going to be handed 100, 200, 500,000, $1 million to trade. That would be asinine, don't you think? And that's why the prop industry developed a model where they would continuously monitor you and they would B-book you until they see that you are good enough to be A-booked. What do I mean by that? So, for example, you're somebody who bought a trial account. You pass all the stages, but you pass them in 5 trades, 10 trades, let's say. And now you're funded for 100,000. Now, a prop firm has a choice. Are they going to A-book you or B-book you? Meaning, are they going to pass your orders through the exchanges and you're going to compete in the open market and make money for the prop firm? Or they want to hire you as a consultant first and still observe you for a little longer, for a month or 2 or 3, until they're confident enough that you are good and you can deliver on what you're trying to achieve by constantly being profitable, making money for both parties, right? For yourself and for the firm. So, if you've passed a prop firm challenge in 10 trades in 1 week, it doesn't tell me as a prop firm a whole lot about your ability. Maybe you got lucky. You know, you caught the trend up, for example. You wrote it up. When the trend changes, you blow up the account, right? So I need to observe you through all market cycles in order for me to know that you know what the hell you're doing. Since you're a person from the internet that nobody knows anything about, this is what it is. I have to test you and see how good you are. The testing phase is the B-book phase. The B-book is simply you providing signals, and the firm either takes those signals and executes on your behalf, or they don't take your signals, but they just keep watching. The good part is, no matter whether the firm takes your signals or doesn't take your signals when you're on B-book, you still get paid when you're right. Okay? So that's the part where you get paid as an unknown person from the internet. And that's why the industry of prop firms on the internet is still very, very good for a retail trader to become somebody who is rich. Okay? There's no other vehicle right now that exists that can enable a little guy to make as much money as trading does in the markets through a prop firm, because you get access to capital. Whether it's virtual capital or not virtual capital, whether you're A-booked or B-booked, it doesn't matter because you still get paid at the end of the day. After you are being tested for a month or 2 or 3 and you display an ability to make money, a firm will eventually stop monitoring you and say, okay, this trader is good enough to trade on his own, and we don't have to pick and choose whether or not to take his trades, not to take his trades. He has displayed sufficiently enough that he knows what, or he knows whatever, to be politically correct nowadays, that they know how to trade, and they don't need our supervision. They're not little kids for us to hold their hands anymore. Okay, that's the A-book. And the beautiful part about it is, whether it's A-book or B-book, you still get paid. What happened with MFF, MyForexFunds, is, first of all, they broke the rule of not having the broker-dealer's license. Second of all, they were allowing U.S. and Canadian traders to trade certain instruments that are not allowed for United States and Canadian North American traders to be traded, like CFDs, like gold, silver, indices through CFD vehicles, okay? They're only allowed to trade futures, and that's a whole another story, and blah, 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 doesn't matter. So, to get to the point, MFF was doing a lot of morally wrong things. They were cheating their customers via some kind of scripts on the back end with MT4 and MT5 and all that jazz. That's morally wrong, and the problem may be illegal. I'm not sure what the hell they were doing. The biggest issue is that they were operating without a license, and that they were doing something on the back end to destroy their traders or stuff like that. But they were still paying. They were still supposedly ranked very high. A lot of people made money with them. And that's the bottom line, honestly. If you find good prop firms, and I'm not pitching my prop firm or any other prop firm, if you find a good prop firm that is able to pay you for your either B-book services as a consultant, as a signal consultant, or whatever you want to call it, and then you can become an A-book trader and grow and become a professional, or you get A-booked right away if you are somebody who has been trading for a while and you can display the skill set. And we have $2 million traders trading that as well, because they are able to display an ability, and they've been around the market for a decade and they have a track record, etc., etc., etc. I don't need to babysit them. Somebody who just came off the internet and they're trying to make a quick buck, again, it works for you. Now, let me tell you another quick reality check for those who don't understand how it works in reality on Wall Street. On Wall Street, nobody pays you every 14 days, every 7 days, even every month when you're a trade. You get paid quarterly, okay, based on your quarterly performance. The whole Wall Street operates on quarterly performance. Then hence you have the quarterly earnings, yada yada yada, all that bullshit with the companies, as you all know. Same thing for traders. When I was working for a prop firm, I was trading, I would get paid once a quarter based on my quarterly performance. Why? Well, because anybody can get lucky for 2 weeks and get paid. And that's why it's still good for you as a retail traders that the competition is so great in the space of internet prop firms that they have 7-day payouts, instant payouts, 14-day payouts. You can get lucky and you can turn your $1,000 or $500 basically in 10 grand. And there's nothing like that exists in anywhere right now. If you have the knowledge, if you spend time, become dedicated to the craft, you have a vehicle that enables to turn $500, $1,000 into 10 grand within a week's time, and you get a payout. Because on Wall Street, in a big firm, you would have to pass an interview, you would have to bring a track record, successful track record, trading for a year. How many of you have a track record of 12 months, successful track record of 12 months? Pretty much nobody, all right? So now you're somebody who's been trading for 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months altogether, and if you get lucky, you can get paid a lot of money because you catch a little bit of a trend for 14 days or 7 days, etc., etc. So before you start panicking about the MFF and all that, realize this whole industry is still skewed towards your benefit, okay? Because it doesn't benefit a prop firm to pay you every 7 days, and then in the next 7 days you blow up, and the prop firm is holding the bag, your losses, and you just walk away, okay? So in reality, this industry is still very much geared towards helping the little guy, the retail, and making them successful and giving them a leg up in this whole world. And in return, we ask for loyalty, obviously, and once you display certain criteria of success, meaning a track record and successful equity curve up, obviously it's never straight out line up. But as long as the trajectory is up, we love to find these diamonds in the rough and get them on the A-book side of things, and then obviously scale them up, make them earn more money. In return, we also earn more money. So this is a long-winded video. If you stayed till the end, congratulations. If you haven't, well, you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about right now. But that's the reality of things. It works for the little guy. If you have tenacity in this business, this is a very tough business. If you have tenacity, this is a very good opportunity for you to turn a small amount of money into a large amount of money until regulations come. And believe me or not, this same thing happened with the forex broker industry from early 2000s onwards. It was a wild, wild west, just like with prop firms now. Then the regulations come, and basically they, trust me, they never work into the favor of a little guy. Okay, they're not interested in making a little guy rich, because they want you to be sitting in the office and being an obedient office bee, not somebody who is independent and who can earn tens of thousands of dollars in a week from a very small amount of money invested into it. Okay, my door is always open. You can find me at fundingtraders.com. Links on Discord, Telegram. I'm always trading live sharing my screen with our senior traders. More than welcome to come join us. Ask me any question you want. And remember that there's no free lunch, but if you're good, you always get to eat. Cheers.